Hello everyone, I am live from multiple platforms, so like I'm looking I'm looking all around. We're gonna wait a few minutes. Welcome everyone, welcome to the people of TikTok, welcome YouTube, Inside Timer. Hello, how are we feeling? How are we doing? Can you hear the music? Can you hear my voice? Can you tap the screen a little bit? I hope you're all hearing me. I hope this microphone is... Can you hear the music? And my voice? See, no? I don't know. Today we're going to talk about the nervous system and how we perceive it, if we perceive it. So it's gonna be really interesting session today. Hello Marisa, thank you for being here. We're gonna start very soon. I'm just waiting for a few people to jump on. Can you hear me, Marisa? Can you hear the music and my voice at the same time? Or is it not nice to hear? Because I don't have a microphone for TikTok today, so like I wonder what they hear. Oh, okay, you hear, cool. Okay, 2 minutes. Well, in the meantime, I want to know how you are people doing. Hello, beautiful. How have you been feeling energetically, if you have been feeling something? For me, it has been a very intense week. We have been asked to transmute a lot of energy, a lot of stuff, and we constantly were faced with like emotion and density that were surfacing, and we were meant to purify. We were meant to clean, release. Very heavy, yeah, because this is what we have been asked to do. We are asked to feel the density, the negativity, the anxiety. We feel it and then we release it, we burn it through, we let it go. And in this way, we can understand if we are removing pain or emotion from the past or the present or addictive pattern of thought and addictive emotional state, because this is what happens. We get addicted literally to certain pattern of thought and certain feeling, emotions. I realized myself in this week that I was kind of addicted to certain feeling, and I kept reproducing it. And then the universe was asking me, no, you need to remove it, filter it. Why are you stuck here? Why are you stuck in this loop? What is this loop? And really we become aware of a lot of things. So this is what we're going to talk today, and how this connect with the nervous system, our nervous system, and how we feel already underneath everything, underneath all the chatter and the emotion and the feeling and the density and the anxiety. Who is underneath all of that? You get me? So just a few seconds and we're gonna start. We're gonna start with some breathing first, just to let you know. With some breathing exercises. Oh, here we are. Hello Susan, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me beautiful. Let me know if the audio, music, stuff, it's okay. I am live from multiple platforms, so I'm sorry if I will look like a little bit around. But if we are all here, I'm gonna anticipate quickly what is gonna be the session of today, and then we ride into it. In this week, if you have noticed, the energy has been strongly intense. Many people reached out to me talking about how much they felt emotional, how much they had repetitive pattern of thought, negativity, anxiety that emerge. And this is what's happening. The planet Earth is asking us literally to purify our vessel, to remove anything that comes in between us and our preferred reality. Because what we are discovering is that is us, is you, that create this distance from where you are and where you want to be. But it's not actually real. We create that distance. So we do this unconsciously sometimes. We become addicted to certain patterns of behavior, of thought that repeats every day. And we become aware of them. And it's like, wait a second, I got caught up in this loop for an hour the other day, and I am caught up in that loop for another hour today. It's the same for emotions. I have been, let's say, neglected, or I didn't receive the emotional support that I needed in my childhood, okay? And I became addicted by that feeling of being the victim, the one that doesn't have what she needs, the one that is mistreated, misunderstood, the one that is not seen. And my mind got addicted also to that emotional feeling. So what happened is we get addicted to these loops of thought, we get addicted to these loops of feeling, and we repeat them every day, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? We create an energetical signature. We create an energetical signature. So our thought and our emotion create waves, create a frequency. And when we repeat them day after day, they then create a whole signature, a vibrational signature in which you move inside of it because you are used to, and you also became addicted to it. My video is coming through blurry? No. I feel okay here. So we subconsciously do this. So we do this, and if we're not really aware of these things that we're doing, we wake up and everything becomes an automatism. And this is one of the big mistakes that we do, is that we create and we conduct our life in this automatism. We don't realize it becomes an automatism. Why? Because every day you are doing this. Every day you are getting lost in the same pattern of thought. And you spiral for an hour each day on the same point, or the same issue, or the same memory, or the same frustration, or the same. So what we create, it's something insane. And in the book of Dispenza, which is really helpful, and if you haven't read it, you perhaps should, but just the images will make you understand something. So let's start with you first here. Can you see all those are different kind of waves that are in our brain? Okay. When we sink into this kind of vibrations, which they are called beta, and they are 3 types of beta frequency waves. They can be highly stress, medium stress, and low stress. Those waves, they run in our head, and sometimes we are not aware of in what stage of those waves we are in. We're not aware of it. When these waves are really high stress, it feels like there is a threat in the outside. Anyway, you don't feel safe, or you feel threatened by something, or you feel frustration. You feel your brain is aroused. Your brain it's working like a, and we can get addicted to that. We can get addicted to that state of being. Your body can become constantly in alarm, in a alarm state, and we become addicted and we don't know. It's subconscious. Why do I call it addiction? Is because you are not aware of the fact that your brain, when you open your eyes, if you trained your body to be hyper, ready for work, other people before you, proving, get up, doing this, doing that. Dopamine, dopamine. Give me a phone, give me images, give me food, give me. You think, oh, I'm going to the gym. We think, wow, I'm active. I'm doing things for myself. Well, not sure, not sure, not sure if you're doing things for yourself. I thought for a long time that I was functioning. I thought I'm always being very active as a person. Was waking up, going to the gym, immediately going to the computer and answer email and appointments and talking to people. And I thought I was in great shape. I thought I was in great state of being. And instead I was not. And how you can understand it's by asking yourself how you're feeling here. If you are constantly in this go, go, go state of being, if you crave dopamine and input stimulation, your brain waves are like this. And this is not ideal if we want to look for the best version of ourselves. It's not good to be in that state. And most people do not know that their nervous system it's dealing is hyperactive. In the opposite side, we can also go in depression when nothing interests us no more, like nothing, and we go down a pattern of behavior that perhaps it's still quite negative. So I don't know, some people were just trying to forget the fact that they are alive with food or weed or anything that can keep you away from the reality that is, basically. And in each day, in each moment of our life, we are radiating those frequencies, and there are emotional frequency and thought frequencies, okay? And as I said before, it happens that we get strongly addicted to a certain feeling. Sometimes even the feeling of being disempowered or being like frustration or victim or sadness. We think that it's just happening to us, and in reality we can easily develop an addiction to this pattern. And repetition, we repeat the same thing every day, every day, every day. We are not able to manifest new things because we repeat in a loop constantly the same pattern of thought, the same pattern of emotions, the same routines, the same lifestyle, so that it's impossible to manifest nothing new or nothing more or nothing expansive. How can you create something from the past? You can't. How can you create something new from the past? It's not really possible. So that's why also many of us have this imbalance that I speak about a lot with our divine masculine and our divine feminine energy. We have both this energy inside of us, and it's the ability that we have to understand that polarity are needed. So polarity in general are needed, above and below, cold and hot, and hate and love, and good and bad. They're all needed. And so inside of us we can create a conflicting force when we are not able to accept both our polarities and make them work together. It's not coincidence if the kundalini in the pharmaceutical places those two serpents that dance together are the polarity. Those are the oppositions. So when you understand the polarity and the opposition inside of you, you will understand your masculine and your feminine. And you will understand that you cannot move into one side and neglect the other, or vice versa. And many of us are constantly too much in one side or too much in the other, so that we don't understand what is the natural balance. The natural balance is the equilibrium between opposite polarities. So your nervous system is wired in a certain way. So your nervous system is wired in a certain way. So your nervous system react to a certain lifestyle, is programmed from that for that lifestyle. And we run the program automatically. We just run it without asking ourselves, how are we feeling though, for real? Because I speak for the people that have a job. The people who do not have a job, they are disintoxicating themselves from this hyper nervous system. But usually people that have a job, they are forced to wake up a certain time, and the body, the mind is switched off. They just automatically do the things. They get up, coffee, whatever, and out. We know that energy goes where focus goes, and manifestation goes where you put your focus on. So if every day you put your focus in something that is already written, you put your focus in something that you know already, the people that you're gonna talk, we are visualizing it, therefore we are creating it. So if nothing new happened in your life, if you constantly go to work and do the same thing in repeats and nothing exciting come out of your reality, it's because you have been living in repeat. And when you live in repeat or anticipate with your brain what is going to be, you are manifesting it. Focus goes where what you want to manifest. So I did a few experiments myself, and I discovered crazy things. So I'm starting to reprogram my nervous system. And I've been not having a normal job for almost 2 years, but I still I still work in that way. So no matter that I've been without a 9 to 5 for the past 2 years, I still work in that way. And I thought I was just a very energetical being, so I thought I was just like just with a lot of energy, and I needed to find my way to release this energy. And my typical day, it's like I wake up and it feels like somebody it's looking at me and tell me, come on, up. And I had to stop and ask myself, who is this? Like, I'm not supposed to do anything today. So why do I feel like, yeah, quick, dress. Check the phone, check the email, go to the gym. The moment you sit down and you understand that you've been running an automatism, you have been running an automatic program. Some people have the opposite too. So every lifestyle, of course, it's individual and is not similar. But I mean is that we run automatism. We every day replicate the day before, kind of. And in many ways we do that. When I started to work on my nervous system, I started to do some meditation before my day started. So I would wake up, just sit here and meditate for like an hour or two. And I removed my focus. I took it back, all of it. Like, I took it back. My thoughts were going to people, appointment situation. I've always been a very active person. So in the morning I would write to 10 people, hi, hello, good morning. And why? I thought, whoa, because I'm just really open, because I just have a lot of energy. In reality, every single thought that we do in that pillow, as soon as we open our eyes, is programming what will be, and is distributing your energy to those people, situation, circumstances, or even your fucking coffee. You would think about, the only thing that makes me happy, I need dopamine to get up and give me coffee. Your focus go there. So we have a bomb in our hands, a powerful bomb that can create wonder, magic, we can create something that is not predictable, something that it's unusual. And we yet choose to open our eyes and just give it. Give it to people, things. So I decide to take all my focus back. My emotional patterns, I realized I had emotional pattern in which I was addicted to. I was addicted to receive validation in my phone. Oh my God, I checked your work, it's amazing. I used to feel addicted to feeling pain, because I received a lot of pain. And that pain became my blanket. That pain became my comfort place to go. And when everything looked really bad outside, it's mental. But those things that we do, so thinking a certain way or acting a certain way or looking for some certain things, is imprinted in us. Is a chemical, is a chemical thing that happened inside of us because we repeated for so long. We were used to responding to certain things. So wake up and you are the last thing. When we wake up and we work into society and into the system and into the matrix, we are the last thing. So when you open your eyes, you are the last thing. That is your job to go. That is your look. You have to be presentable, and there is that panic or anxiety or adrenaline that is running and pumping you and is giving you, and to keep it alive you use coffee, which is another chemical. And when the mind is in those high level beta waves, we create similar effect in our body of like caffeine. We like, what happens if we break the cycle? What happens if we really listen to our body, to what it wants? Like, but really, really, really listen for real. What is gonna happen? What do you think your body wants to do? What do you think your soul wants to do? What do you think will emerge if you give your body what it actually needs? But what it needs, it doesn't mean what it craves, because what it craves is not what it needs. But as in every spectrum, when we swing too much in one side of the spectrum, we have to swing in the other side. So if we are used to be hyperactive, needing dopamine, needing visualization and the phone and email and caffeine and colorful, I used to get up and straight walk inside the most busy coffee shop in town. And I didn't know why. I thought I just liked it. I thought I just like it. I just liked it. In reality, my nervous system craved this strong chemical, chaos, coffee, people, music, stimulation, essentially. My nervous system became addicted to stimulation. And when I switched and I gave it the opposite, so eternal silence, from I usually wake up at 7 and stay in my eternal silence until 12. My body started to show me the years and years of conditioning that I have ignored. And I basically woke up crying for like 10 days. I still do that. But what happened is that finally I can see the reality, the state of my being. There is an inner child that has been hurt from this society. This inner child has been trained like a dog to answer to command and to thrive in certain way and receive certain treats or receive dopamine and something that he likes in order to do things, in order to behave in a certain way. And all of a sudden, I realized that my inner child in reality didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to be stimulated. He didn't want to be taken out. He wanted to cry. And I gave it the time to cry. And there was a lot to cry. Why? Because there were a lot of things that I was doing as an automatism. And I thought they were me, or they were part of my character even. I even thought it was my personality. And it was a lie. It was not my personality. It was not my personality. It was not my character. It's years and years of conditioning. Years and years of conditioning. And again, it's the polarity. It's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's the darkness and the light. We got pushed to perform and be like little robots. And we are so easy to program because we get programmed through repetition. So it's very easy to program into become hardworking. And it's very easy to train us to be addicted to low emotions, familiar low emotion, pattern of behavior, thought pattern that go in a loop the same day. So everything become an automatism that run on the back. And we think we are acting from authenticity, and yet it's not. How can we find though the balance? Well, if you don't know what is your darkness and what is your light, how can you? If I thought that my light it was actually my shadow. Listen to this. I thought that one of my biggest quality, which is being really jumpy and giving energy to everyone in the morning, I thought that that was my light. I thought that that was one of my biggest traits of my personality. In reality, it's shadow. How many things you do that perhaps you think are your light, and yet is not. To integrate, we need to understand our shadow and our light. The behavior that we adopt and we show to the outside are based on what? Can be the things that you think they're part of your personality come from your darkness and you think is your light. So for example, how I realized that I was too much in my divine masculine energy is because my father figure was very toxic when I was young. And to overcome it, what did I do? I embodied too much masculinity, but I was not aware of it. I thought, this is me. In reality, because I received a toxic masculinity when I was young, I realized very soon when I was young that the only way to save myself is to actually become a person that doesn't need anyone. So I became Miss Independent, I became Miss Loneliness, I became the wolf. I did so many crazy things and crazy career that crazy. From striptease to sexy show and whatever. And I thought that was my light. I saw, this is me, this is who I am, look at me. I can do this, I can do that. I open multiple businesses. I was always successful and chasing and doing and proving. I don't need nobody. And I thought that was my light. And yet it was not. It was actually the opposite. That was, I created a old persona. I created that old persona due to my trauma, due to the fact that my masculine energy was wounded. I created in the shadow. I created in the shadow. And I became something that I wasn't. But I thought it was my light. So can we understand how much complex it's those polarities? So some women that are overly driven, overly achieving, and men as well, they are overly business focused, they don't need the one, super independent, we do this, we do that, shapeshifter. I became a shapeshifter. I am a shapeshifter. I can be whatever you like. Whatever you like, I can be. I worked in so many different environments with so many different people, from the high to the bottom. Like, I can be whatever you like. And I thought that was my talent. I saw that is actually my gift. In reality, that is my shadow, because I was forced to embody a masculine person to survive, my masculine side to survive. But then I moved so much in my masculine that my body started to get ill. And so my mind started questioning, like, but if I feel so great, if I think that everything I achieve is so great, if my life is so great, if I feel superior and I don't need nobody, etc., and yet my body is ill, I created myself basically in the shadow. I used my shadow. I used to call myself the Queen of Sword because I cut. I don't need nobody. So I'm really easy to cut people off, to just bye. And again, it was my shadow. And we can flip in the other side of the story, which is when you embody too much your female side, is because perhaps you had some traumas with your mother figures. You become too passive. You don't have self-worth. You hide. You don't speak your truth. You let people take advantage. You love to become a doormat for others. You question things without actually reaching a conclusion of some point or some kind. So darkness and light, what are they? What are they? You are a series of characteristic. You are your lifestyle. You are what you do, what it repeats every day. And we need to understand, if we do things out of an automatism, or if we do things because we are in survival mode, or do things out of fear. Because many of us have a full personality that you think is you and is not. Literally. Literally. Sorry, let me read a few comments. How many of us fear? How many of us do of anger and rage? There are these two spectrum of things, and we we get possessed by it, and we're not so conscious of why we're doing it, the real reason why we're doing it. And I had a successful people which I did some private coaching session the other day, and this woman, she's amazing. She's like an artist. She sing. She managed to manifest a lot of things in her, and yet everything she done, she thought was her real light, and in reality, she did all of that out of her own shadow, an over masculine embodiment. Because the masculine is the do, achieve, show, prove, proud, independence, love. And the divine feminine is the night, is the passiveness, receive. She doesn't give nothing. She does not give. She does not give. She does not give much. She gives only when is worshipped. When she's otherwise she doesn't give. When you constantly feel like you are swimming against the current, that is you embodying the masculine. When you learn how to go with the current, you embody the feminine. And it's a dance, so every single person have their divine masculine energy and their divine feminine energy, and we to us to find the perfect balance between these two things, and to find it we need to stare at one side and we need to stare at the other side. You know how all of this started because in here there is a polarity. In this planet Earth there is classify our life in two columns. They taught us to literally categorize every little thing. This is good, this is bad for you. This is a good thing, this is a bad thing. You're a good kid, you're a bad kid. And so we got splitted into our wombs, basically, almost. We got splitted in our purity and in our innocence, splitted with a truth that is not real. You are not divided. There is no good and bad for you. And imagine we grow up with this. We do one step at a time with this list under our arm. We don't realize we do this subconscious when we are little. We start to the steps towards the world with this list. This is good, this is bad. And that is the first reason why you do not even you're not even aware of what is your life, your light. We're not aware, because we got trained to get, because we are oneness, we are the all, we are everything, we are each side. And for who asks what is toxic femininity, we are the toxic. We are toxicity too. So toxic and non-toxic is needed. Are you able to see the both side of you and understand that you've been misled and confused and you need them both? Oh, how can I remove them? Why do I need toxic? Because if you don't know what toxic is, you don't know the other side, beautiful. How can you understand something if you don't have the opposite? How can you understand love if you don't have hate? How can you understand the day if you haven't never seen the night? How can you understand what good is if you never felt bad? Everything will be plain. Everything will be pointless. Your rejection for one two side, it's your problem. Your problem. We are this. Have you been into the darkest of the darkness? Have you been to hell? Because if you haven't seen hell, you won't know what heaven is, and vice versa. So it's the same for our life. We conduct our life in a certain way, and that way is programmed if we liked it or not. You can try to convince yourself that you are not, but I promise you, most of us are. If you reflect on your lifestyle, you can start to and one adjustment that I mean, I recommend you, and why you're not wanting to play? Mm, 1 second, people. Can you find any? Can you find this? Is any of you have an idea of what are your toxic trait and the opposite of that? To say something. Oh, oh, streaming song here. Why? Okay, the music is gone, people. So how can you find the toxicity in your life? I really don't understand. Perfect without toxicity, then I'm glad for you. Human beings, not really. Can you please share what has helped you during the tour of dispenser? Really help just because it makes you under familiar emotion. And I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. So for some reason we get addicted to certain emotions, and we want to feel them daily, but this happening in a subconscious mind. So you're not really aware of what you are doing. I used to call and have a problem, I don't know, with my mom, for example, every week. And I thought to myself, my God, what is this like? Why every week we ended up arguing, etc. In reality, I literally was um, craving that emotion. I wasn't aware though. I wasn't aware. So I was just doing my thing. Oh, we're having an argument with my mom. We are Italian arguing anyway. It's like passion. Like, pff, we just do it. But I thought, oh yeah, this is the typical behavior. Like, me and my mom do this forever. And then since I started this deep programming and detox from stuff, I realized that I was simply addicted. I was addicted, but not bad. It's just something. I used to do something out in Italian and then make my or like, and I would feel like again the victim, the daughter that stood, and the story carry on. From my childhood until here, I'm still understood. But in reality, I was creating that. I was creating that because I didn't know that I was addicted to. You understand? And that happened with other way, like pattern of thought. Repeat every day the same CD, the same frustration. Oh, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. Oh, and then an hour a day for a week of the repetition of this pattern of thought create an automatism that in you, and many other things, many other things. We think we are doing them because it's our light or our personality, and in reality, guess what? They come from trauma. They come from association, conditioning. They come from training, because we have been trained like dog to bark or to lift your hand when it's time to go to the loo. We became an automatism. So do and all the people that have been doing coaching session privately lately, they were all shocked and so surprised when they realized that our personality and our lifestyle is actually dictated, is actually unconsciously conditioned. People who have old realizing that their old lifestyle, the thing that they very do every single day, they come from an automatism, a nervous system that um, it's printed, it's automatically like that. It's synced to work in that way. Why do you think a lot of people need caffeine, pain, dopamines, like phone, emails, visual stuff as soon as you open your eyes? Because this is what we've been programmed to do. When we were young, do you think it's normal to wake up a child at like 6 in the morning to go to school at their desk for 8 hours? Do you think that is normal? Do you think that is natural? Do you think that is healthy? Have you seen how monkeys teach to babies? Have you seen how monkeys take care of babies? Our genetic. Do you think monkeys on putting their baby in square desks in 3 rooms and leaving them then without moving for 8 hours? You have been programmed to be that. You've been programmed to be that. Obedient, good, good, good child. The little perfect good child that knows it all and has to study is a good boy, and we give you a little star on your head. To all of you, bravi. This is brainwash. This is not knowledge. This is not real intelligence. Einstein said it multiple times. We are teaching, it's like the metaphor of all the animals with all their peculiarity, all their specific abilities, it's here that I need your attention. You have something that else has, and them did not want to find this about you. The school system want only you that really well conformed and really well behaved, and like a sheep, and they all go there. They taught you to be afraid of being a bad kid, a bad boy. They taught you to be afraid of Satan, the devil, the darkness. Um, why do you think? Why do you think we still think that we don't need the darkness to evolve? Why do you think? Why do you think there are these people with demons that I can sense even without seeing you? There are already a few people in my chat that has literally the good child demon has been installed into you. I'll never do that, and I will never do that. Oh, and I know, you are way more programmed than what you think. You know that you are way more silly than what you think. So, your mission is to find out those two columns in life that you categorize everything in. Find out what you consider the column of good for you and the column of bad for you. And let's see what you find out. Those two columns that you divide all your entire life. This is it, this is it. I'm gonna make it out of your eyes like you not only need them both, but you are swapping them one for another. You are confusing it. You think that, guess what, that was your light. Oh, you thought that was your light? Oh, guess what, that's your shadow. It comes from a trauma. Perfectionism is a demon that has been conditioned in children's minds. Speaking up is not bad, my friend. You have to speak up. And that, again, who is more fine? I mean, some people, again, it's all about opposition, okay? So remember, it's just too long and we just keep swinging. Blingy blongy, blingy blongy. We go to one extreme to the other. When you are too much in your mask, your truth is much. And it's because this exposed to you. So you don't know now. I was talking very harshly to me, and so this came like, and then on the opposition is the people who are much of a shit. So it's like either you speak to considerate of what other people think and what you can create. And the opposite, you will never speak up. In both cases, going to these two extremes, we need them both because we stay in the middle. We stay in the middle. This is what we do. Why the two serpent move upwards along the stick with the pine, our third eye. So the energies understand the importance of the two sides, and they are not afraid to go and explore, but yet The right way is the middle way. And these images represent Kundalini, represent the pharmaceutical company. Why you think? Why you think? And why you think in many pharmaceutical company they take away one snake? Because they want you to be unbalanced. They want you to be in one side or the other, so you will need more medicine. So yeah, oh my god. If you people from Inside Timer have any question, or if you want a session with me, you can find the link in my profile. But for today, I just want to ponder upon your lifestyle, ponder on the single thing that you do, the very small thing that you do, and out of why you do them for real. Dig deep though, because I promise you, your ego will lie. Your ego will lie the shit out of you. So more lie than that, because you don't. We are being conditioned most of our life, most of the thing that we do, how we answer, how we what we like and what we don't like is induced. Why do you think it's so difficult to find your self? I had to dig under tons and tons of truth and think that I thought with my light, think that I thought that my ability, my this and my that, in reality from had to become a shapeshifter, because otherwise I would have been on the street. I had to be able to put myself and change myself to fit in any scenario. And I thought, oh my god, look at me, look at me, like I'm a super talented human being. No, I was still seeking validation from society, because my father didn't give me the validation myself to fit in any situation, in any ability, multi-talented. I sing, I dance, I do YouTube, I did dominatrix, I went to tantric, I opened a massage shop. And in reality, it was all built upon trauma. Because if I had support right now, if somebody right now tell me, I give you £50,000 a month and you don't have to move a finger, what you will be doing, this persona that you just met would not exist. I couldn't give years of my life, because they were not real passion. They were passion that were induced in me. I was forced to trauma due to the fact that they did not for who I was. I not accepted for who I was. I got put in danger, and so I had to figure it all out. But I created a personality that were, and I thought it was pure light. And now that I'm finding my real light, it's like, fuck me, it's not me. She doesn't give energy to anyone. She doesn't overstretch her. She doesn't overgive. She doesn't break back anymore. She doesn't want to be liked anymore. Actually, she laid down not to be liked. How fucked up is this? My shadow was forced to be liked, because otherwise I would have been in the middle of the street. So I was forced to, I modified all my character. I can be whatever, literally. There isn't, why the divine feminine and the woman is not about woman and man, because even men can embrace the dark divine feminine side. But why the dark divine feminine? It's Medusa. Why I had many mystical experiences in which I saw Kali, I saw Medusa, I saw dark female energies. We had a conversation and showed me stuff. Why do you think they were so powerful? Why do you think Medusa was so powerful? Why Skati was so powerful? Why those dark energies? Because this is the power of our shadow chakra. This is the of our shadow centers on the back. Even the people speak about the light chakra, our boring normally normal. That is just one side of the spectrum, people. That is only one side of the spectrum. We have a full chakra system on the back of our spine and is all made in darkness. The darkness that we had to go through made that. So it's still you. You still have to look at it. You still have to love it. You still have to understand it because you're still you. But you need to understand the both side of you and why there are both sides of you. The baby has to be accepted by parents. So the baby needs to make himself lovable. He will do anything to with a validation, approval for the parents. And we did this with society. Society and social group became our parents, and we learned how to behave, how to mask ourselves to get the validation, to get into the group, into the fucking acceptance. And we think that that is who we are, and in reality most of us cannot give a about many things, and that you think you do just because you created that persona upon traumas, really. It's yeah, it's just fascinating the things that you can discover when you really want to go deep within. Anyway, if you have any question, people, or if you have any behavior or any story that you want me to help you out with, I really think this is syncing with Ayurveda. So another thing, let's speak about the last thing. Um, Current of thought. Do you know what current of thought are? So in if psychology, science, there are current of thought. Okay, not all scientists are happy with quantum physics and quantum science, and not all psychologists are happy with Freud and whatever another name. In spirituality, not everyone is happy with Ayurveda. Not everyone is happy with Osho. Not everyone is happy with consciousness. Not everyone is happy with mysticism. But guess what? All of those are labels. We're here to understand ourselves, not to understand labels of others, discipline of others. It's okay to experiment. Everything can give you something. Reading any sort of things can give you something, can leave you something. You do not come here uh, like if you are interested in Ayurveda, beautiful, go and check Ayurveda. I had mystical experience since when I was little, and it was very hard for me to behave like feel like a normal human being among other human beings. because I was seeing and feeling stuff. There is no label that can be applied for me, if not that I communicate with energies and entities, and I'm able to tap into ancient future knowledge, because those knowledge are here and they were here and they will be here. Is a present, infinite point of connection with informations. So this is what we are. We are divine vessels. We are by nature able to connect with above and below, with energy from the earth and energy from the sky. We are the mix. We are the thing that connect the sky and the earth. We are celestial being as much as we are demonic beings. We are the both. We come from this animal instinct, brutal kingdom, soil and grass, but we have the knowledge, advanced knowledge from celestial advanced being. Do you know that ancient religions and aliens are the same thing, people? Do we know that, right? We know that? Do you need I need to help with that? Those religions, Jesus was a star people. Shiva was an alien, is written in the Veda. Is written there. So, what are we really? The more you attach to label, it's fine. You can attach to label. Or do you want to find what is? What is for you? Not what is for the Pope or what is for Buddha. Do you want to go and find what is for you? Who you are, how you function. To do this, we need to go deep, 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 deep. There are many layers of conditioning. Many, 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 many. Anyway, this beautiful live was free, so I appreciate any donation or any support to my channel is appreciated. If you want to have one-to-one session with me, email. And another question: how to drop the veil completely? Quarantine was blessing. Brava. Yes. So the pandemic came for us to do this. People are not aware of it, but actually the pandemic was here for us literally to see our shadow person and our fake light person. So to remove completely the veil, it's a journey. It's not a day, it's not an hour. It's a journey of deconditioning. So it's almost doing the opposite of what you normally do. And this is a practice that I suggest to everyone. Do the opposite, the exact opposite of what you normally do. If you are a person that needs plan and structure, you will start to conduct your life absolutely in chaos. No plan, spontaneity, nothing. If you're a person that needs dopamine in the morning, you will fast from dopamine until 12 minimum. Silence, only silence. Birds, the maximum thing you can hear. If you're a person that feels that is constantly hyper independent, like you don't need nobody, you don't need people, you don't like people, connect with people. Connect with people. And if you are the opposite, you always need people around you, just stay alone. Understand that we need to find out the reverse. We need to find out why we don't like the reverse. Because most of the time, the reason why we don't like the reverse is because there is trauma. Is because there is trauma in any reverse. That's why people were like, why would I need toxicity? You are avoiding toxicity, my love. You know why you're avoiding toxicity? Because you need it. Because you need it. You cannot see the needle if we don't approach the oppositions. It's like, even so, for example, there were some spiritual teacher out there, okay, that were absolutely against spiritual woman that would do I don't know, teasing photo shooting, or if they have an OnlyFans or whatever. And this is something that happened personally to me. So the person who is so against this, it's because they needed themselves. And let me explain you why. There, there are people that think that, oh, if a woman does a sexy picture, it's just because she needs validations. Now, even though this could be true, like, I did photo shooting myself, and I still do. And I put them out there, and of course, I'm happy if I receive some validation. If I don't really care, because it's something that I've been doing anyway, like by myself, and I've got a lot of picture of me in my house, and it's something that I just like. But the person that was coming at me saying that, you see, you are doing this out of trauma. Well, we became comfortable with our trauma, and this is where people don't understand the power of the shadow, because the shadow can possess you, or the shadow can serve you. Once I see that I did certain things out of my shadow, I did certain things out of trauma, doesn't automatically means that those things are bad for me. When I see them and I can use them, they serve me. My shadow serve me. My shadow become my power, and I use it. Her shadow, her own shadow, this woman couldn't get over her own shadow. And her own shadow is that in her lives, she only used picture to receive man validation, and so in her limited mentality, nobody can do that. Everyone that does that is because it has a wound, and this is where we go wrong. We don't understand that everything I became in my shadow, even though it wasn't healthy, it's still under my belt. It's still my power. I can shapeshift people. Sorry. Maybe we drift in this ideal spirituality of love and light, and my shadow is mine. I developed it through trauma. I had to become aware of it, aware of the fact that I was embodying my divine, my divine masculine side. But still, that is in my power. My shadow is my power. Nobody can come to me and tell me what is and what not is. You are the only one that can state what is good or what is not good for you, why you do certain things and why you don't do other things. Nobody owns you. No, there is no one truth. There is no one path. Because my path worked for me. And I can help people who resonate with me. So I can give the tool that helped me. But my path will not resonate with many women. My path will not resonate at all. And I'm okay with that. And you at the same time have to understand that there are things that we need to discover that are good and empowering for you, and you can integrate them, and you can accept them both and bless them both and put them together and integrate them and burn it through the fire. And some people need other approaches. We are very different beings. I remember a spiritual lady. She was doing this very interesting session in YouTube. She was a Tibetan. She became a Tibetan monk, but she was English, and she started to say in this big convention with many people, spirituality is not sexy for me. And so she started saying how spirituality is not something about the ego, it's not something that involves the ego. And I got like I was listening to her and I was getting on fire, like fire, baby. Because I was like, for you, for you, spirituality is not sexy. For you, spirituality has nothing to do with ego. For you, is easier to move to a mountain in Tibet without nothing. It's quite easy actually to do that, to be honest. I can disappear and I won't have no problem, isn't it? Guess what? We discover who we are also through the interaction with the people that we have around. What we manage to create in here, we have the ability to create in the middle of the matrix, on top of the matrix, underneath the matrix if we want to. But again, it's choices, isn't it? If you want to go in a mountain and be by yourself and become master shiny head, afraid of your own sexuality, and consider yourself a great guru, thumbs up. That is for sure, it's not for me. And for me, spirituality, it's sexual energy first. My spirituality, it's for me my ego, actually, because the only interest I had fixed and constant towards my life was spirituality. Before my fetish kink, my first kink, real kink, it always been spirituality. Please. So you are here to discover who you are for real, not what you have been conditioned to. You are here to understand really why you do things. Most of us do things due to conditioning. What is your real personality? Your real authenticity? And again, spirituality is a journey, and there are many different streets that you can take. There are many different paths that you can take. Whatever resonate with you, whatever sparkle your soul, whatever give you the power to burn, that is the way. Because I've seen many people that meditate. I spoke with, I was coaching a guy last week. He's been meditating for like 7 years. He never had no mystical experience, no paranormal experience, nothing. And I'm like, why do you keep doing it then? Probably you need something else. Probably you need something else. You need contact, you need energy, probably you need to go to a Reiki, probably you need more stimulation, or trying different things, different method, or trying mushroom, take some mushrooms, open, allowed, see, burn, get excited. Where is the sparkle? Where is the flame? And the same for many religious people. They go to church every Sunday, nothing happened to them. That is not real spirituality. If spirituality doesn't attract you, if spirituality doesn't invite you, then why are you doing it for to do what? What is the reason? Anyway, I've been talking too much. Sorry, I got a bit passionate, but you know me. I'm a little mad horse. So, was a pleasure to connect with you people. If you want to ask any question, feel free to do it in the last 5 minutes. If you want to send me an email or check my coaching session, feel free. Bye TikTok. Ciao ciao people. Let's close some of those lives. Bye YouTube. Love you.